Well, years later, I would find myself graduating with the Juris Doctorate from the University of Baltimore School of Law. And the preparation, if any lawyers are in the sound of my voice, you know the preparation for the bar is grueling. I struggled to relearn and retain countless hours of intricacies that I know would be tested in that 2-day period in July of 1993. And along the way, I cannot tell you how many times Earl Helmrich's words played over in my mind. I could literally feel this guy's hand on my shoulder telling me, Timmy Longo, one day, you're going to be a good lawyer. You're going to do this, kid. You're going to pass that exam. You're going to remember all that stuff that you crammed into your little head. You're going to do good things. Well, I passed that exam. By the grace of God first. And I truly believe in my heart, Earl Helmrich second. Words of encouragement. More to the story. So years later, my niece, my oldest niece, is a special education teacher in Howard County, Maryland. She called me one evening and she said, hey, I ran into an old friend of yours. Really, who? Who you think? It was Earl Helmrich. She said, tell Timmy I said hi. I said, you're kidding me, Earl. I haven't seen Earl Helmrich in 40 years. She said, well, here's his email address. Reach out to him. Well, you know, I did. I had to pay it forward. I said, teacher, do you know how many, do you know what those simple words did to a young kid's life? I sent him a business card. Timothy J. Longo, Sr., attorney at law. Words are powerful. They're encouraging. They can move people to action. I want to leave you with something. I'm going to leave you with something that really touched my heart this week. When I was 15, 16 years old, I was a lifeguard. Worked at a bunch of different pools around Baltimore, and one of them was a children's home. It's called the German Children's Home. It's in Catonsville, Maryland. And I worked there for 2 seasons, and there was any given day I could have 20 kids in a swimming pool and just me watching them. Imagine that. No ratio of 1 to 5 back then. It was just me and 15 or 20 kids in a pool. There was this one little kid, her name was Casey. She was about 9 years old. She wasn't any bigger than this. And she could swim, but she was struggling to jump off the diving board. And I remember saying, Casey, if just try it. You can swim the length of the pool. Just jump off the board. Let me show you how. And I'd get on the board and I'd show her. I said, I'll tell you what. If by the end of the summer you jump off this diving board, I'll give you a bicycle. Had a couple bikes at home. I'd fix one up. I'd give it to her. Well, you know, at the end of the summer, she jumped off the diving board. I'd give her a bicycle. I hadn't thought about that in 42 years. So I'm walking down Locust Avenue this past week, and I'm reading my emails, because it's what I do when I walk. I catch up on reading the emails and responding to text messages and hoping I don't get hit by a car along the way. And I come across an email. It's from a gal by the name of Casey Hyde. Casey Hyde? My name ain't Casey Hyde. Hi, my name is Casey Hyde. I was wondering if you were ever a lifeguard at the German Children's Home. In 1979, I lived there for 1.5 years when I was a child, and the lifeguard gave me a 10-speed bike for diving off the high dive. His name was Timothy Longo. I seem to remember he was interested in becoming a police officer back then. I live in Washington State, and I was watching a TV show. I saw a man in law enforcement back east. His name was Timothy Longo. So I wondered, are you that same person? I had a good childhood, and I had good memories from my time at that pool. all those years ago. Is that powerful? Does that not move you? That something that happened 42 years ago that I had forgotten all about, it took me all of a couple minutes to conjure together and deliver a plate and say, way to go! You did it! You jumped off the board! You put your mind to something and you succeeded. And here's a little girl who was an orphan, who grew up to be an adult. She's a mother, by the way. She's worked for the Washington State Department of Corrections for 19 years. She served in the United States military. What a privilege it was to be an encourager. To maybe play a small part in the architecture of a young child's life. So much so that 42 years later, she not only remembers the name, but what the guy wanted to do for a living. She takes the time to reach out and say thanks. Be an encourager. Friends, there's never been a greater time in our history. He's almost coming back. It's almost that time. There's never been a greater time than this. To start lifting each other up. To tell people that they're valued and they're loved and they're appreciated. Thanks for the privilege of encouraging me, Jim. For making me feel valued. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. God bless you.
Wow, what a powerful message that was. And thank you, Tim. I enjoyed that. And it's funny how when a musician has a program and it tends to change, and my band always gets on me when I'm playing a show with them. It's like, you're always changing this and that, because I can kind of read the people and know what to sing. And my hat's off to veterans, law enforcement, who put their lives on the line for us to stand and have the freedom that we have. And I have the utmost respect for them. And a year or so ago, when I was talking with my songwriter down in Steele, Alabama, I wanted to give back to them, to the veterans, a song that would maybe mean something. So I want to dedicate that to the veterans here today, anybody in the audience, and certainly Mr. Tim for serving this community. It's called I'll Stand for the Flag. I turn on the TV, and this world is upside down. People full of hatred, burning Old Glory on the ground. But from sea to shining sea, I guarantee there's still a few who love this country and support the old red, white, and blue. And when it comes down to it, you can bet I'll make my stand. These country roots run deep, yeah, they run deep. I'll stand for the flag and kneel for the cross. They both stand for freedom and hope for the lost. I'll shine my light for Jesus, no matter what the cost. I'll stand for the flag and kneel for the cross. My granddaddy and my daddy left some real big shoes to fill. With a little work In the good Lord's grace, I'm certain that I will be the man that they both were. Patriotic to the bone, one nation under God, the only place that I call home. When it comes down to it, you can bet I'll make my stand. These country roots run deep, yeah, they run deep. I'll stand for the flag and kneel for the cross. They both stand for freedom and hope for the lost. I'll shine my light for Jesus, no matter what the cost. I'll stand for the flag and kneel for the cross. I'm thankful for the land of the free. I'm thankful for his work on Calvary. I'll stand for the flag and kneel for the cross. They both stand for freedom and hope for the lost. I'll shine my light for Jesus, no matter what the cost. I'll stand for the flag and kneel for the cross. Yes, I'll stand for the flag and kneel for the cross. God bless you, and thank you, Jim, for the invitation today. Thank you so much.
And all God's people said, Amen. I'm encouraged by the message Mr. Longo brought this morning. I'm encouraged by the music Mr. Wood brought this morning. I'm encouraged by you all being here this morning. We have God within. There's nothing impossible. We need to be encouragers. Would you please stand for our closing prayer? Now unto him that is able to keep us from falling and to present us faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy, to the only wise God be glory and majesty, dominion and power, both now and ever. Amen.